Call 256-234-6221. Now, let's join Brett, Randy, and Lou for the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Good Saturday morning out there, and welcome into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Brett Pritchard and Randy Lee here. And Randy, this will be our first opportunity to say we want to welcome in Sunshine Heating and Air as one of our corporate partners now here on Sports Blitz programming. So glad to have them in, along with always JR Sports Bar and Grill. And beautiful Saturday morning here in the Lake Martin area. A ton going on last night. More going on from now till the end of summer.
Well, let me jump in on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air. First off, he's a big high school football supporter in this area. Does a tremendous job with Dadeville High School football. You and I doing Benjamin Russell, Kevin doing Dadeville. We talk back and forth. We kind of catch up on our expectations on the season and kids. And he allows us to know a little bit more than we would if it wasn't for him. So not only are we proud to have him as a sponsor of the program, but we're proud of what he does for high school sports in this region. And he's worked with us quite a bit on a number of different projects, not only personal but down in the Dadeville area, and we want to thank him for being on board and looking forward to a long relationship. We've had JR Sports Bar and Grill on with us for almost the entirety of the program here.
That's right.
I think we're in our 12th season of our Sports Blitz programming here in the Lake Martin region, about 11 of those on the statewide area. JR Sports Bar and Grill has been with us all of those years, and they continue to grow and service the downtown Alexander City area, which was booming last night. I don't know numbers. You know, it's a free concert, Brett, so you don't know numbers. But when weather is good and it's promoted the way that the Jazz Fest is promoted around here, you're going to get a big crowd. And when you've got acts out there like they had last night, Brett, first off, had a great opening act, but then you bring Randall Bramlett in. You know I'm a music lover. You see Randall Bramlett and he's not headlining, you're going, my, oh my, somebody knows what they're doing. And he was outstanding, and then Delta Ray closed things out last night. That they could sing the phone book and it sound good. That's how good they were. And tonight you'll have it down at the amphitheater on Lake Martin, and we know it's a different crowd, but it brings in what we were talking about, and I'll kick it back over to you. Mm-hmm. This area in the summer months, for 4 or 5 months, you go out and about, and you may know 25% of the people that you see, and that's a wonderful thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. Just a total different feel. We weren't at Jazz Fest downtown, but we were at Kowaliga last night at the restaurant, and it was an hour wait at about 7:30, 7:45. We got there, and I got there because I was coming from Lay Lake from our fishing team at Cat. We'll talk a little bit about that here in just a little bit. So I got in town a little bit late, so we went on down there and met some friends and looked around and didn't know anybody. And I mean, you're in a packed restaurant that big and didn't really know anybody. And a couple people, but that was it. Really, that was the extent of it. So everywhere around here in this Lake Martin area, last night was about the most prototypical Chamber of Commerce. I hate to use that with, that's such a cliche statement, but it really was. I mean, little to no humidity, temperatures down in the low 80s, clear skies. It just was perfect. Usually with Jazz Fest, you battle humidity, you battle rainstorms and all that, and so much rain that we've had the last 2 or 3 weeks. It just worked out perfect last night to have an outdoor event.
Let's kind of veer this thing towards your fishing team at Central Alabama Community College, and I know we got a lot more to talk about, but you brought it up, so I'll segue you into it, Brett. Second year of the Central Alabama Community College fishing team.
We're a year and a half in, basically.
High school fishing, how many years is that in?
Well, it's
is it about 5?
No, it's been a little bit longer than that. Okay. High school fishing, it's really just taken off to the level it is. I would say high school fishing's been around, 8 or 9 years.
Okay.
And but it's really just like college bass fishing, just like fishing in general, and a lot of these sports, not just fishing, but things outside, outdoors, have really taken off, exploded. Really, the duration of our show. If you look back over the last 11 or 12 years, we talked about how this was getting big. And the AHSA even discussing making fishing a sanctioned event competitive for a state title. That's coming. It's on its way. And Hank Weldon, who will join us a little bit later on in this program, is the director of college bass fishing nationwide. He said yesterday, he and I were talking, just looking out at all these kids and these boats and the crowd that was there at that weigh-in. He said, people just don't understand about this until they come to one of these events. And he said, he did the quote rank, and he'll probably shoot me, but he said, there's a lot of people that really just think of fishing as a bunch of people lining the bank with bobbers and a beer in your hand. He said, that's not what this is it? And I said, no, absolutely. It's totally an unbelievable sight to see those college kids, girls and boys now, getting after competition, the passion for it, the people that show up for these events, man. I did a little quick check. I want to show you how big of an impact this is. We had a tournament last Saturday at Lake Lake, the Alabama Bass Trail, and we had a fog delay, about an hour. So we're sitting there, and I'm looking around, and I'm looking at all these boats, and I pulled out my phone and did a little quick math. I said, the average boat out here costs $40,000, the average one. There's 225 of these out here. So let's do the math on that. That's $9 million that was floating in that little bay right there. That didn't count the trucks and everything that got the boats there. Man, there's so much money in that industry, and it has continued to grow. And I'm going to tell you what I've noticed, Randy, and I'll say something to Hank about this. One common theme that I see out of all these bass tournaments, if there's a negative, out of all these bass tournaments, high school, college, pro, all the way up, is that there are so many people fishing now on these bodies of water. Randy, it's tough to fish now. The fishing's getting tougher because these lakes are so pressured. I mean, it's not anything for Lake Guntersville right now. If me and you got in the car and drove to Lake Guntersville and went to 4 or 5 of the boat ramps at that lake, there'd be 200 to 300 trucks at each one of them parked down the roads. I'm talking maybe you have to park your boat your trailer a mile down the road and walk back to your boat. It is 400 and 500 boat tournaments every weekend on Lake Guntersville because of the popularity and the press that it's received. Lake it's had 5 Bassmaster Classics. That's a small body of water. That place is eaten up with people on Saturdays. Just every average Joe Day fisherman that come down say, I want to fish Lake. It's tough fishing, but it's making these guys better.
Well, let's talk about here in the Lake Martin region, because there's an Elite Series tournament that's coming here next year, correct?
Is that
in the works?
It's in the works.
Okay, if that happens, what is that for the lay person out there that maybe doesn't understand what bass is, and because there's a lot of people out there. If I weren't involved with our organization, and if I weren't a fan of Greg Vinson and try to keep up with how Greg's doing, I wouldn't have a clue.
Sure.
So talk to me if I didn't.
And I think that's kind of what Hank was saying yesterday. Unless you see this and understand this and come to some of these things, you probably don't know or have a true appreciation, in which it's not a cut on anybody, but you just don't realize how big it is. I can't really describe to you how big of a deal that would be for the area to get the top 110 bass anglers in the world in our community for over a week. Because they don't just show up and fish the tournament. There's pre-fishing set times for them to come in and practice, so they'll come in during those times. When the tournament's announced, they'll allow those guys to have certain times. Then the lake will go off limits to them for competition reasons, and then they'll come in the week of the tournament, and then they'll be here all week. And ESPN will be here. They'll be covering the whole thing. The amount of money that'll bring in the tourist industry, because fishing's a big industry. People will come from all over to come to the weigh-in and watch Kevin Van Dam and Gerald Swindle and Mike Iaconelli and Greg Vinson and Kelly J. Kelly and Greg, two of our guys right here in the Lake Martin area that would absolutely just eat this up if they could get this Elite Series thing sealed at Lake Martin. So I feel like it's just in the millions, man, as far as economic attention and things like that. So I'm really excited. about where this is going and what it's doing. But for our team up at Lay Lake, man, we've made tremendous strides in a year and a half. I mean, my guys work hard. I know what they do. You know, a lot of times you work hard in anything and you don't, and the results don't show. Just because you go out and work hard, just because me and you studied for a test in school didn't mean we always made a good grade.
No, we
okay.
didn't.
All right. So, but that's the thing that's frustrating about fishing. Sometimes you can put the time and effort in. You can really grind and have good practices and go out during the tournament and really lay an egg. So I know I've got good guys on the team. Well, it's shown in this tournament. We've got a top 20 team right now in 19th. They're going to take the top 18 to nationals in August. So they're sitting right there on the bubble. Man, they've got to move up one spot today to get into nationals. I mean, that is a feat in itself out of 140 boats.
And who's that team?
Stuart Ward from right here in Alexander City and Hunter Ward from over in Wetumpka. So we've got their pair. They paired up, and then we had one group, Holden McBride from Dayville, Alabama, and Austin Finley from Wetumpka. They finished 2 ounces out of the cut yesterday. They took 21 teams. They finished 22nd. They were 2 ounces from getting in there. I mean, they were devastated, and I hated it for them, but they really, really fished hard. And then we had another.
How many boats, by the way, in this
140.
tournament? 140.
Wow. So, and then you had another group that finished 41st, and that's Chance Rich and Hunter Presley. So they did really well. And Trip Hodges and Caleb Dennis finished somewhere around 60. And so all of our guys finished in the top half.
Yeah.
Of the field. So, and I knew Lay Lake was going to be a strong opportunity for us. But Hunter, I'll say this about Hunter and Stewart, they almost qualified on Lake Cherokee last month in Tennessee when we went up there. They were one fish away from qualifying for nationals at the East Regional up in Cherokee, Tennessee. They've turned the corner. I mean, they're going and they're studying and they're working hard. They're patterning these fish and they're doing things that are different than just what most people do. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for them today that they can go out and have one more good day and get themselves over that hump.
Well, we're looking forward to having Hank Weldon on with us here shortly. He's a good friend of this program over the years, and we can't thank him enough for that. But he's a great resource for this region because he and his father and that family name are high up when you talk about bass, and to be from this area is really good for our area, correct?
There's no doubt. I mean, they basically call Lake Martin their home lake. They grew up in Wetumpka, Alabama. Hank went to Edgewood Academy. I mean, those, his brother Ben has been on the show before with the Alabama Sports Festival. Trip Weldon, anybody in bass fishing knows that he is the guy up there with bass. So, yeah, I mean, they're instrumental in really putting a lot of attention to this region. And so, Hank's a great friend, and he really has really praised us at CAC for our facilities and the way we've done and the way we've hosted. We still hold the record for the largest collegiate bass tournament ever right here at Lake Martin last year in the Southeast Regional. They have yet to have a tournament that's had that many boats. So we can continue to hang our hat on that.
The city, Parks and Rec here in the Alexander City area, and so much, because it takes money up front to get these tournaments here, and so the support that the city has shown, not only with this administration but the previous administration, it's well worth it. So continue to do it, and when we're out there and we're beating the bushes and rubbing elbows, I promise you, Brett, we're out there saying positive things about these tournaments, and I know that the fishermen here are proud that these are coming, because I remember a decade ago where we'd be in meetings like this and just little discussions, and they say, man, there used to be tournaments here all the time. Now nobody cares about it. Don't they know what they're missing out on?
I know.
Hadn't that changed in a decade?
It's really changed. It really has. Well, we're up against our first break. A lot of good stuff there, kind of a local spin right there on what's going on in the area, man. We got a lot to talk about here. We'll take your phone calls, 256-234-6221 when we come back. Stay tuned. More of the Sports Blitz, Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR's and Sunshine Heating and Air right after this.
Comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Trane dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our number one concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Auburn Opelika has that perfect something for you. From sophisticated chic boutiques to exceptional dining, there's a retailer or restaurant to make your next visit special. Whether it's elegant fine dining or freshly squeezed lemonade, you'll find the perfect fit for every taste and budget. The food's great and the shopping is too, so be sure to check out the wide array of gifts, decor, clothing, and more. For every occasion, Auburn Opelika has what you're looking for. Let's make your next trip memorable. Visit Auburn Opelika.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just $1 down, plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just $1 down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized E-Z-GO cart dealer that has no limits on a perfect E-Z-GO cart. Whether it's a fully customized cart or a stock-made cart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best E-Z-GO carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown, presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. And we'll take your calls in the next segment of the program. But at this time, I want to go to our phone lines and welcome in a really good friend of ours here on Sports Blitz, Hank Weldon, director of college bass fishing for Bass. And Hank, good morning to you, buddy. I would say it's early, but you're so used to this. You've been up way longer than most people even think about most of the time.
Yeah, Brett. Yeah, it's about lunchtime right now, but it's a gorgeous morning. It really is. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you, Hank. And again, we appreciate you taking some time out. I know you guys are heading over to the University of Montevallo for the last day of weigh-in for the collegiate wild card that's going on up at Lay Lake. Another wonderful tournament. I'm just, first of all, I want to say, give you guys a lot of praise for what you guys do and what type of event you guys put on for these men and women and these young men and women in college that fish, because it has just taken another step over the last 4 to 5 years in the type of exposure that these tournaments have.
Yeah, I mean, it really has. It's been a great year, like you mentioned. This is our wild card, our final regular season event. So this is our final day of the regular season. And after our weigh-in today at Montevallo, we'll have our national championship field set. 130 boats started out on Thursday. That gives us enough to qualify 18 teams to the national championship, that final 18 teams. That'll give us a national championship field of 90 boats later in August in Minnesota. But it's been a great year for the college series. If you follow bass fishing, everybody knows our reigning Geico Bassmaster Classic champion Jordan Lee, Auburn graduate. Really he cut his teeth in the college series, and it's been a great exposure platform really for our college series. So we've had a great year, and I anticipate next year to be even larger.
Yeah, just seems like the sport continues to grow, and the popularity, and what's what Randy and I talked about leading into this segment with you, Hank, is that a lot of these lakes that are so popular, they continue to get a lot of fishermen on there week in and week out, no matter what time of year it is, because of all the different tournament trails and all the different people wanting to get into the sport, which is a really good thing, and getting people outdoors and participating and making them aware of how important it is to protect our resources out there for all of our sakes, whether you really like to fish or not. But I want to move into the tournament up there at Lay Lake, talking about pressure. The Alabama Bass Trail fished that lake last week, and now the college series rolls into town. So they've had two major tournaments back-to-back on a lake that's had more Bassmaster Classics than any lake in the history of this country. So Lay Lake continues to get pounded, it seems like, year-round, but it continues to produce awesome results, and that just tells you how healthy the fishery is.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, throw in 6 inches of rain that Mother Nature dumped on it, on Tuesday. But yeah, it's great fishery. Coosa River, famed Coosa River. Most lakes, we had a 17-pound bag on day one, a couple of 15-pound bags yesterday. In June, most lakes, that's an awesome catch, and for Lay, it's a little bit on the low side, just simply because of what you mentioned, some pressure, but I think the weather had as much of anything to do with it, and not only just the rain, and you had everybody knows the weather's been gorgeous if you're not fishing, but for fishing, a cold front came through, high pressure, it's never good for fishing. So it's been a little on the slow side in terms of big fish, but they've been catching a lot of fish. Some kids quoted saying they were catching 40 or 50 a day. So fishing well, just some of the big fish aren't showing up.
Yeah, and it does have there's a lot of elements that go into why fish don't respond, and obviously weather's the main one. And then that pressure that you just talked about is too, because everybody that really does research on lakes, there's certain areas that you can find that other people might know about, but like on a lake like Lay Lake that's small, there's so much grass, a lot of people just drop the trolling motor and hit the nearest thing that looks good, and those fish are there, but they just have seen so many lures in their face, they're like, man, here comes another guy. So it's just one of those things that you do have to add in as an element that their pressure on these lakes can make it difficult.
And the tournament director for our last chance tournament to get in, I like a high pressured event in terms of the fishing's not that easy, and these guys are sweating it out, and that top 18 will have truly earned it to get to that national championship.
Well, and you're right. We've got Hank Weldon on the phone with us this morning with College Bass, and final day weigh-in coming up at Montevallo today. The first 2 days at Beeswax Landing there on Lay Lake, and you move the venue to the college that is the host on day number 3. And we were fortunate enough here in Alex City last year to host the South Regional, the Southeast Regional, and at Central Alabama Community College, and we had the final day weigh-in on our campus. It was a wonderful event. We didn't have anybody actually finished in the top 20 that last year, which was a little disappointing for us, but it was our very first tournament as a college bass team. We've come a long way, Hank, in that short amount of time. We've got one team in that top 20 right now in 19th, so we've got to move up a spot, and we'll be qualified for nationals. Really means a lot to our guys, really means a lot to our community and our team.
Yeah, the Wards, Stewart and Hunter, they had 2 good days, and that's again what we talked about, that high pressure event. They got to do it one more day, and that's something a lot of people, casual anglers aren't used to it, a multi-day tournament is a completely different approach. You have to manage your fish. You have to have somewhat of a pattern figured out. So if you run out of fish in your primary areas, you know what to look for those secondary areas. It is and go back to Jordan Lee, you know, we feel like the multi-day events helped train him to prepare to ultimately win that classic. And you mentioned, you got the awards in 19th, but then you had right there, knocking on the door of the top 21. We cut the field down to 21, and unfortunately, 22nd place, just 2 ounces out, was one other team from Central Alabama. But you guys have, like you said, y'all come a long way, and you're competing with some top anglers and seasoned veterans in the college series. So you're definitely going to be around for many years from now.
Yeah, I think so too. And I want to shout out to Holden McBride and Austin Finley. They were actually in 12th, or actually in 16th, I believe, after day one, sitting in really good shape, and caught another decent sack yesterday, but it was 2 ounce shy of where they need to be. And you and I had a talk yesterday. That's competition. They understand it. They're competitors, but still doesn't make it any easier when you go sit down at night and think about how close you really were to making it. You know, anybody that's a true competitor wants to win, and you know, condolences and that boys and pats on the back don't go but so far. But they'll compete and they'll continue to get better and stronger and learn the process. But it's like I told you, you know, you cut to 21. If you'd have cut to 22, place number 23 would have been upset, you know, and vice versa. So there's got to be a line, and unfortunately we were the ones on that line this time, but there'll be better days for those guys. But Hank, looking forward to the weigh-in today up at Montevallo. Hopefully everybody in the surrounding area will come out and be supportive. All these final day weigh-ins seem to draw a big crowd, and come out and support these young men and women that are fishing for a chance to go to Bemidji, Minnesota now. You had to do some really big-time digging to go find this place to have this national championship.
It's the home of Paul Bunyan, where the story began. We'll be fishing the Bemidji chain of lakes, but it's pretty neat. It's where the Mississippi River starts, the farthest northern city on the Mississippi River. I was up there. Everybody down here, when you drive over to Memphis or Vicksburg or down in Louisiana, you know, it's as wide as 4 football fields. But up there, you can almost jump across it. It's like 2 feet deep in places. So it's pretty neat to see it. But yeah, you know, everybody locally, you want to support Central Alabama, come on up. We'd love to have you. If you can't make it, Bassmaster.com, 2:30 this afternoon. We'll have the weigh-in stream live. Again, the awards are in 19th place, so they'll be the third team to weigh in. We'll weigh them in standings order and start pulling for them. You can go to Bassmaster.com right now, too, and check out the blog. We've got people out on the water reporting what's happening, so pull for your team. Got a few Auburn teams in as well. A couple of them are making a go at it as well, so all your listeners, they should have some teams to pull for.
Definitely so, Hank. Well, we are. You know, I woke up this morning, it was right on my mind, just thinking about those guys and sending a little prayer out for them. Hopefully they'll have a good day and bring it home. But, man, we appreciate you taking time out. I know you guys are busy this morning, changing up venues, leaving Beeswax, heading over to Montevallo. So be safe out there, and I look forward to seeing you soon, buddy.
Brett, thanks, man, and we'll hope to see you this afternoon. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you, Hank. Appreciate it. That's Hank Weldon with College Bass. And I'm telling you, a class act really does a phenomenal job. All these tournaments, you talk about traveling around. He's all over the country, in California, up north, always checking out these venues, trying to see what the next area is going to be for these collegiate anglers to go and try to take on. Which body of water will they take on next? So no place is too far for Hank Weldon. He puts in the time and the effort, no doubt. Up against the break, we come back. Randy will join me again, and we'll continue these discussions and many more. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's and Sunshine Heating and Air right after this.
Reinhardt Lexus brings exciting offers with rates as low as 0%, rebates for college grads and military, and low monthly payments. The time to save is now at Reinhardt Lexus, where you'll feel like family.
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Relief has a new address in Alexander City. Main Street Family Urgent Care is now open across from Walmart on Highway 280. From cuts, broken bones, strep throat, and flu, they can help you heal and feel better fast. Open 8 to 8 Monday through Friday, 8 to 6 on Saturday, and 1 to 6 on Sunday.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Don't you know there's no clean like Peaches and Clean?
Wow, your carpets look fantastic.
Yeah, thanks to Peaches and Clean.
They look new again.
They also clean my kitchen tile.
Simply amazing. I'm calling Peaches and Clean today.
Just call 502-5326. Oh yeah, they have an area rug cleaning facility too.
Peaches and Clean is now expanded to the Alexander City Lake Martin Market. Give them a call at 334-502-5326.
Call us up at Peaches and Clean.
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
Heads up, we're going back to 77. Disco, bell bottoms, and Ford F-Series starts its epic run as the best-selling trucks in America. Fast forward to 2017, F-Series is still king for 40 straight years. How? Rock-solid durability, up to the nanosecond technology, and jaw-dropping capability. No wonder the competition hasn't been number one since these. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 40 straight years.
Bucks Island is one of the oldest boat dealers in Alabama, serving boaters since 1948 with the largest boat showroom in the state. Bass boats featuring Skeeter, cruisers and sport boats featuring Monterey, pontoons featuring Crest, G3, and Voyagers, powered by Mercury and Yamaha. Bucks Island has sold over 10,000 boats, and with a full service and parts and accessories department to keep your boat in top condition. Don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote. Visit Bucks Island on Highway 77 in Southside or online at bucksisland.com. Give them a call at 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island, where our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Reinhardt Lexus brings exciting offers with rates as low as 0%, rebates for college grads and military, and low monthly payments. The time to save is now at Reinhardt Lexus, where you'll feel like family.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Sunshine, Heating and Air, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lease. Rare, you and I are up here on the Saturday. Our good friend Andy Graham, usually the anchor here on Saturday mornings, and you and I and Luke and Scott come through on a rotation basis.
A lot more Luke than anybody else because we try to have a little Bammer spin.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does a great job, but Luke this morning's got the family in town.
Yeah, we want to give him a break too.
Well,
so
we're going to get him on air in the second hour and let him talk a little Bammer to all of you because Brett and I will not help.
I know some of you out there got the little twitch going because you ain't got your Bammer up there, but that's all right. We talking about that since we are the two in-house Auburn guys. It seems like along with Scott Hardy. I mean, Luke's pretty much outnumbered, but he kind of handles his own. You know, he kind of makes up for the rest of it. Auburn Ambush, another good event right here in the Lake Martin area on Thursday night down at Willow Point. The Auburn Lake Martin Club down there, and the Auburn Lake Martin Club did a really good job of putting this event on, and packed house down there at Willow Point. A lot of people to see Coach Gus Malzahn, and Rod Bramblett was there. Albee was there, obviously. Just a good last stop for the Auburn Ambush Trail, where really kind of everybody ate, fellowship, and went into the big room and sat and heard Coach Malzahn answer questions from Rod Bramblett on where the program is, where he thinks it's headed. Just a lot of highlights and stuff that he was able to elaborate on, Randy.
It's easy to do this program now because we're still just local here. We are going to be spreading this one out again. We have been on multiple different radio stations throughout the state, and that will be the case here in the coming weeks. But right now we're here local, so it's easy to talk about.
That's right.
Y'all talked about great facilities here in the local community with Central Alabama Community College. There's not a nicer one in the state of Alabama than Willow Point. People are blown away. You're walking around, you hear them talking. We had guests with us that said the same thing. You see Coach Malzahn, who's a new member down at Willow Point. I see him down there playing some. Not that you and I ever do because we don't have any time to get to go play.
I was about to say, if you saw me down there, it was a mistake.
But
I took a wrong turn.
But, when you see the numbers, which they said was the largest numbers they've ever had show up for, used to be Tiger Trek.
Yeah.
Now it's the Auburn Ambush, and close to 300, I believe, that were there. Rod did a tremendous job of emceeing, keeping things loose. Gus Malzahn getting a different side of him than maybe you see before. Really loose, really cordial. I'm not saying he's not cordial, but when you're in the middle of the season, Coach Malzahn's got a cookie-cutter way of presenting himself.
Yeah.
I think he's completely opposite of that when he's off of the camera and it's not in the middle of the season. And I thought both of those guys did a tremendous job, and actually had a number of other people, including parts of my family, that came up and said how good of a job they did. What did you take away from what you heard that night?
You have to take things with a grain of salt. I mean, it's a big pep rally. That basically is what that is. So obviously, it's going to be a lot of positive talk, a lot of rah-rah that Coach Malzahn. But I think Coach Malzahn understands. He said that the theme for this year is our time, and I agree with him. And I think he's dead on. And I think that means a couple of different things. Number one, obviously our time. It's our time as Auburn, as he says, to get back to winning championships again, competing for championships, because the last couple of years we have not been there. And Auburn kind of comes in phases. When it's really good, it's really good. When it's bad, it's pretty bad. There's never that even keel. And we have a segment here in a minute that we'll talk about what would you rather have happen as an Auburn fan, and we'll bring that up a little bit. But I think he understands the pressure. And I think, to me, subliminally, he was relaying that to the crowd, saying, look, I understand where we are. I know we hadn't beaten Georgia in 3 years. I know we hadn't beaten Alabama in 3 years. And somebody stood up in the crowd and asked that question, what are we going to do to get over the hump? And it's all in fun and it's a light environment, but deep down, that's a serious question. Why have we lost to two really bad Georgia teams the last 2 years? And they have been. Those two Georgia teams, Randy, have been two of the worst that Georgia's had in the last 25 years. So what does that say about us? That we lost to them. And so we've got to get back. And Auburn fans, just like Alabama fans, and you can go ask Bill Curry if you don't understand. And at Alabama, it's not tolerable to lose multiple times in a row to Auburn. You start losing, you lose two, you're like, okay. You lose three, people start really getting antsy. You lose that fourth one, people are like, all right, we've had enough. And so we've seen coaches on both sides that felt that pressure, that can't beat their rival. And unfortunately, you get shown the door. And I think that's where Coach Malzahn and his staff are right now. They've got a lot of talent. He talked about the talent on this team. It's some of the best talent we've ever had at Auburn at one time. The last, 5 years, there's been a top 10 recruiting class by some ranking system. I mean, the talent's there. You got to produce. The defense got better last year, but the offense has just gone in a tank the last 2 years. Rhett Lashley's gone now. Chip Lindsey's in there. You got a all-star type quarterback in there at Jarrett Stidham. The pieces are there. Got to produce on the field.
I'll tell you the takeaway that I had. Yes, a lot of it's rah-rah, but you can read through much of the rah-rah. And
it's a subliminal message.
Well, the one thing that I took away was he truly feels like we've got a great defense potentially. And he feels like Kevin Steele's doing a tremendous job, and the back end of the defense has a chance to be very good. The two Davises at corner and the safeties, if they can stay healthy. Trey Matthews, a team leader.
He's a little concerned with depth there, but the
otherwise the
starters are good.
And mentioned that Trey Matthews probably is the overall team leader, even though there's multiple, but he's really taken a step forward. So I took that away, and I did take away that he thinks he's got 3 guys that can compete at the quarterback position, and he didn't really hold back that he thought that's been an issue, and definitely been an issue in a backup role. So I feel good. Talked about Malik Willis.
He did.
Talked about what kind of athlete he was.
4.4 speed.
I thought it was interesting to hear him bring him up. You know, most of us sitting in that audience were just expecting to hear Jarrett Stidham and Sean White.
Didn't really talk a lot about Jarrett Stidham, to be honest with you.
He didn't. He talked about Sean White and what kind of competitor he was, and wanted to give him an opportunity when he's healthy in the fall to have a chance to win the job, and did talk about Jarrett Stidham and what he brings to the team. And he has the defense and the offense behind him in a leadership role. So we feel like we got some really top-end running backs potentially on this team. They proved it last year. He said Kerryon Johnson's one of his favorite players of all time, and just does what he does. Just a tough guy, can do a little bit of everything, willing to block, willing to get out and catch balls out of the backfield. A really good player, and that's good to see, because we've been watching Kerryon since he was in the 8th grade, Brett, on the basketball courts, and he's gotten bigger and just been a tremendous athlete. It's a great family up in that Madison Academy area.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he alluded to this team. I believe if it's either 40 or 50 plus kids on this team at a 3.0 GPA or higher. And he said, us coaches can really do good things with these smart kids. He said and really that's where this team is. And you haven't heard of a lot of off-field things lately with this bunch. He said we don't have a lot of knuckleheads on this team. He said, and then he corrected himself. He said we don't have any knuckleheads on this team. People, that's part of it. I think that's part of what Nick Saban's done well at Alabama, is he gets everybody to come in there and buy into what he's doing. And if you don't want to buy into it, doesn't matter if you're 5-star or 2-star, you're just gone. You got to get gone. So I think maybe that's part of the deal and the chemistry of this program. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue this discussion and go through a couple of these questions that we're going to throw at each other. What would you rather do, since we're talking about Auburn right now? We'll have Alabama up in a little bit with Luke. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's and Sunshine Heating and Air right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with zero down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for zero down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
Saturday, July 22nd, Sun Festival, Alexander City welcomes the biggest live act to hit Strand Park to date, Moon Taxi. At Strand Park in historic downtown Alexander City, Saturday, July 22nd. Doors open at 6 p.m. Tickets are only $20 and on sale now at the Alexander City Chamber of Commerce or at alexandercitychamber.com. Presented by the City of Alexander City.
Advantage is defined as a favorable or desirable circumstance or feature, a benefit, and that's just what you'll get with the Gills Auto Sales 5-Star Advantage. Gills Worry-Free Guarantee, a 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty on every vehicle. Specialized maintenance from the area's top technicians and free oil changes with each purchase. Flexible financing to fit any budget or credit situation. Convenience with 6 locations offering quick and easy approvals. And selection, the area's volume leader with over 400 vehicles in stock. There's only one place to get the 5-Star Advantage, and that's only at Gills.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture.
we would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Gorees Furniture.
Your expressway to saving.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air. About an hour and 15 minutes left in this morning's program. Get your calls in, 256-234-6221. If you're laying around in the bed right now watching us or listening to us, get up because it's beautiful outside. It's a gorgeous Saturday. There's rain moving back into the area on Monday through next Sunday. So you need to get up and go enjoy these next 2 days because we'll be back in our Seattle, Washington weather pattern.
I'll never complain again after 5 or 6 years ago where we had that drought and we were all, it's like
you got to have the rain.
It's like the heating up. What's the? It's 7:40 in the morning. I apologize. This week has got my brain oozing out of my ears at this point. It's straight blood, but the warming of the world. What's it called?
Global warming.
Global warming. Golly.
You put the world together and warm, you come up with global warming.
but you look at the stats on all of these and you go, well, I mean, are you kidding? So I remember 5 or 6 years ago us going, we better get used to this. It's never going to rain again, and Lake Martin will never be full.
And it's going to dry up.
If you own a home that does not have year-round water, you're in trouble. You may want to look into selling. Do you remember all that?
I remember it was panic time. We were in a El Nino pattern, and it really hit us that year. And we've never seen it. I mean, that's when Pat Dye's pants were discovered. That's how bad it was. That's how far down those pants were. I mean, there was shoreline that was seen that hadn't been seen in 50 years around here. So let's hope we never get back to those days. But yeah, when it rains in concession for 4 or 5 days, it kind of wears on you, kind of beats you down. But it makes you appreciate the really pretty days. That's why I said you need to get up and go out and enjoy a beautiful Saturday wherever it is that you are, and also but keep it tuned in right here. We're talking about Auburn. We'll end up a little bit here, and because we got to go to another quick break to get back on track. But the schedule this year could be the great equalizer for this team, Randy. You can have a good football team and it not show in the win column. And Auburn's got another very tough schedule. Second week of the year, they go to Clemson. Now, that's a Deshaun Watson-less Clemson over there, and no Boulware in the middle for them at linebacker, and no two top-tier All-American receivers for them, but they have some of the best talent in the country and have for the last 4 or 5 years. They're going to be fine. But as we all know, you just don't take a Deshaun Watson and plug somebody in there. This was the same Clemson team last year, week 2, that almost lost to Troy. I mean, let's just be honest about it. They dodged some bullets. This is not a team that you can say, well, there's just no way you can go over there and win. Auburn can definitely win that game, especially now that Deshaun Watson's gone. But you got them, you got LSU on the road, you got Auburn, you got Alabama and Georgia at home. Those are your 4 big games. Auburn's got to split. Auburn's got to win 2 of the 4. So if you're looking at it half of the year and half the year, and I'm just taking the good with the bad. Of course, I want to win all 4, but you better win one of those 2 on the road with Clemson and LSU, and you better win one of those 2 at home with Georgia and Alabama. I don't care which one, flip a coin, doesn't matter. But that's going to get you to 10 8-2 on the season if everything else goes right. If not, you could be 8-4 with 4 losses to the Big Four. What are people going to say if you lose those 4 football games?
Well, I'm telling you what people, including us sitting up here, are going to say if they lose those last 2 again. It's going to be a problem. And maybe we're willing to sit here and say, yeah, and we're realistic now at this point. We've seen what's going on the other side of the state. It's a special time to be an Alabama fan. We've seen when it hasn't been a special time. We've watched them be less than Auburn for 6 straight years.
Yeah.
And for a long stretch of time in our lifetime where Auburn's really not necessarily had their number, but we've won more than they have.
That's
but
right.
They've turned the tide, so we get it. But Georgia's been down slightly, and Auburn can't.
That's really the question mark.
The problem that you have as an Auburn fan right now is going those last 2 games. Yes, I want to beat LSU, but we've had our times with LSU. They haven't been as big a nemesis as those final 2. Clemson is 1B here in this country in recruiting right now. I'll say that if Alabama's 1A, Clemson's just a slight step down.
Yep.
Florida State's a little bit below them, but those 3 are the top in the country. Ohio State's right there with them as well. But we're on the next tier. We've had some great recruiting, but we're never one of those 1, 2, and 3 year in and year out. They are.
No, they are.
So we'll see what Clemson's going to replace with. But it's the final 2 games for me, and I think it is for a lot of Auburn fans.
But you better have yourself in position when you're going into those 2 games that you haven't really already messed the bed, so to say.
The only way that Auburn's going to be uber competitive with those 2 teams anyway is to have played well throughout the season.
That's true.
So it's going to take care of itself. These getting beat, and you're watching the game to Alabama, and you know within a half a quarter that this thing does not match up, and you already had in your mind that this thing didn't match up, and then you watch it and you go, how far are we behind? I remember you and I talking last year and going, how far are we behind?
Yeah.
We are light. We're in the dark ages compared to them.
Alabama played a really poor first half offensively and
kept us in the game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They never felt threatened because we couldn't move the ball. I mean, we had I'm talking none, non-existent. Went to Athens, Georgia, watched that anemic offense. And I'm not blaming Sean White for an injury, but, it's kind of got to be on Gus Malzahn. I mean, he understood and actually brought it up during, the ambush the other night that he knew his arm was bad at Ole Miss. He still played him. And then you come back, and he wasn't ready to come back. And he re-injured it in the Georgia game, and he left him out there in the second half. You had no chance to win that game, and you sure didn't have a chance to beat Alabama on the road last year with the type of offense we had. So we'll keep talking about this. We got to get to break. When we come back, we'll continue these discussions because a little bit more on that we want to talk about before we finish up. Stay tuned. Well, the Saturday Sports Countdown coming your way right after this.
It's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017. Get up to $7,000 off MSRP on the new Altima SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 at exit 51.
At U.S. Ameribank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. Ameribank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. Ameribank difference. U.S. Ameribank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Jewelry by Design is Auburn's premier jeweler for over 20 years. Mark and Tammy Nelson invite you to see their unique selection of engagement rings, each crafted to be a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, custom designed with only natural premium diamonds that are never enhanced. Jewelry by Design is also your officially licensed Auburn University jeweler that handcrafts all of their Auburn jewelry as unique as your passion for the Auburn Tigers. For jewelry that's crafted to your style, visit Jewelry by Design on Dean Road in Auburn or online at jewelrybydesignauburn.com.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car? Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's best warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation!
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown. About an hour left in this morning's show, so get your calls in if you'd like to, 256-234-6221. We'll close out what we're talking about with Auburn real quick. Randy, the ticker is the scale for this team. I mean, the ticker is the schedule for this team, and it's going to be the scale for which they are judged. I mean, what is the magic number? Are you happy with a 9-3 team that loses to I mean, if 9-3, let's be honest, you're going to lose to the 3 of the 4 that you really want to beat, and that's LSU, Georgia, and Alabama. And I just don't know.
I can live with 9-3 if they win one of the last.
But 2. What if they don't win one of the last 2 and go 9-3?
Problem. And for me, it's how we look in one of the last 2, mainly the last one. We've been competitive with Georgia, but they haven't been good either. I'm not saying we haven't been good. We have had our stretches where we've been really good.
That's right.
But we haven't been competitive with Alabama outside of 10-13. We have got 14 too, and I could live with 14 because we couldn't stop them in a million years.
Yeah, but
they couldn't stop us
either.
So I could live with that because we were competitive. But way too many years during this Saban stretch, they've beaten us, and they've decided how much they wanted to beat us by.
Yeah.
And that's the only stretch I can remember in my lifetime where I go, Alabama just said that they're not going to score anymore on us.
Yeah.
They're going to let that just stop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the bottom line is, and last year, I didn't feel like, I thought our defense played well enough to help us be in the game late, but when you're out there 90% of the time because your offense is 3 and out and you're having to defend 40, 50 yards of field against that Alabama team, what do you expect? I mean, you didn't ever put your this is how bad it was offensively, and I'm going to end with this. You had the best field goal kicker in the country, okay, and he's back this year. You were so bad at Georgia, you couldn't get the ball within 50 yards to kick a field goal for this kid Daniel Carlson to even attempt a field goal in the second half. That's how bad it was. And Georgia won 13-7, and the only reason they won is because Sean White, on the first play of the second half, threw a pick 6. Outside of that, everybody could have packed their stuff up and went on home. There wasn't nothing left to watch the rest of that half. It was the dullest, most awful half of football I've ever watched on both sides. The Georgia guys that were sitting by me said, man, it's awful. They're like, he said, hey, if you win this game, what have you done? And that was the mood of the fans, both for Georgia and Auburn in that game. So I think that we've got to, obviously, for fans' sake and program's sake, you got to get back. That's why Gus Malzahn said it's our time, and it really is. This is rolled back around to be one of those years where you got a really good quarterback, you got the talent around him. You better take advantage of it. You better take advantage of this opportunity. If not, is it going to be 3 years before it happens again? I mean, we just haven't had the fortunate opportunities like Alabama and some of these other programs to stay the course for 4 or 5 straight years. It comes in spurts for us, 10, 13. Is it going to be 17 this year for Auburn that they get back to the top of the heat? Well, we'll see.
888-9-TIGER-9, that was our old number there, wasn't it?
It was.
I've got some mean numbers.
Boy, you pulled that one out. I'm telling you, man. We've talked so much Auburn this morning, you went right back to
256-234-6221. We haven't said the phone number this morning. One thing that we will continue to do on our Sports Blitz programming is take your phone calls. As we head into football season, we get it, Brett, don't we?
That's right.
The phones start ringing, and we'll start having more opportunities for you to call in and more giveaway items. And right here with Lake Broadcasting, they're out there. They've got Prize Patrol, I'm sure, going on this weekend. They've got plenty of giveaways, so you make sure to stay in tune with Kowaliga Country 97.5. They do a tremendous job of outreach here in the Lake Martin community.
That's exactly right. We're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to play a little game. Would you rather? Kind of tails off of what we just discussed with Auburn there, but would you rather when we come back? Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown presented by JR's and Sunshine Heating and Air right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank, banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Centricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
Jackson Refrigeration is Central East Alabama's Alabama Power's superior solutions dealer. With rapid response time and on-budget pricing, we're Central East Alabama's and the area's authorized Goodman Heating and Air dealer. We make your peace of mind easy and give you peace of mind when it comes to your heating and air needs. As a superior solutions dealer, Jackson Refrigeration can help save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Jackson Refrigeration works on all existing brands and units and has the team to solve your heating and cooling needs, no matter the season.
In a world that's ever-changing, you have to be sure that your choices are the right choices. At Central Alabama Community College, you'll know you made the best choice. Whether choosing a technical degree program, taking courses to transfer to a 4-year college or university, or being a part of our national championship winning traditions, get a sharper focus on your life by choosing one of our 3 convenient locations: Alex City, Childersburg, and Talladega. Central Alabama Community College. Central to you, central to your success.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering, or even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask if we're aware the competition mimics us just to keep up? No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown. Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, here with you till 9 o'clock. Glad you joined us out there. Whatever phone number you want to call, right? We'll take it. You don't matter. This is the right one. Here's the right one to call, 256-234-6221 to be on the program. Let
me start.
You going to play this game with me?
We're going to play the game after we get Luke on. So hopefully he's going to be I don't want to start the Auburn game until after we have
this ain't an Auburn. This ain't an Auburn game.
Your thought on Bob Stoops. Why, Brett?
Were
you as taken back as I was? And that's the reason I wanted to ask you this question because 18 years, 2 really good seasons, back-to-back, been in the mix for it.
And really,
very much in the mix.
And top 4 coming into this year.
And great quarterback coming back. Probably the best in the country this year coming back. Your thoughts? I mean,
it's just real odd, man. Just, something... And I'm just going to say this, and I don't know anything about his personal life, okay, and anybody, but to me that was such a – he went home one night and had some type of epiphany or had some type of something hit him in the face that said, you need to get out of this now, moments. And that happens in life. You know, it doesn't have to be a reason for all of us to understand why somebody does. There isn't a perfect time for everything in this world. You know, Michael Jordan, when he left the Bulls, he could have easily ended on that last shot against Utah, walked away, capped off the best career in the NBA. He had so much in him, he had to come back. Nobody remembers him playing for the Wizards. It's just almost like it didn't exist. Kind of like Joe Montana when he went to the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. Okay? Nobody remembers Joe Montana playing for the Kansas City Chiefs. Remember him playing for the 49ers. I don't know what happened. Only Bob Stoops knows. Is he done coaching? Probably not. But something, the timing, his dad died young, okay, and he was a coach. Something told him he needed to get out, and I think that's what it was. Let's go pick up Luke. Luke, what's up, man? Hey, Luke. No Luke. So, thought we had Luke there for a second. Maybe we'll get him back. That's just my honest feel. I don't know.
I get the same feel.
Something happened.
You know, it was a little bit.
He wasn't forced out, obviously.
It was a little bit Urban Meyers-esque. Even though Urban Meyers at Florida was on a downswing. I feel like, if anything, Bob Stoops has weathered the storm. He's only won the one national title, but he has won 10 conference championships.
That's what I'm saying.
His conference record's ridiculous. You look at his conference records, 121-29, a very strong conference. And this year, coming in, you just feel like this team's got the opportunity.
Well, I just felt like this. That's the thing that's the head scratcher of all. It's not like he's got an average to mediocre team coming by. I mean, he's got a team that can compete for a national championship. Do we have you this time, Luke?
You got me. How's it going, guys?
Good, man. Well, you know, we're talking a lot about things this morning, different things, and we just happened to be on the Bob Stoops thing. You know, odd timing. A lot of people. You know, it just doesn't make sense in our world with a team that he had coming back and at this point in time in his life. But I just told Randy, I said, sometimes I think you go home at one night or you're sitting there by yourself and, you know, something hits you and says it's time to hang it up and it's time to do something different. Maybe not forever, but for a little while. I don't think there's really more to it than that. I mean, I may be wrong, but there definitely wasn't any pressure from Oklahoma administrators to get Bob Stoops gone, and he has a tremendous football team coming back this year that's going to be up there in the top 5 in the preseason polls. So just your 2 cents on it.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, I don't think Bob Stoops will be out of coaching for good. He is too young, and I think that he will still have a fire in the belly for this. He may just want to do it somewhere else. And, you know, familiarity breeds contempt, and I think that he was at Oklahoma a long time. I think they loved him. At the same time, for whatever reason, maybe because he started out like gangbusters, people may have thought he could have done a little bit more. He had a better team than that Florida team he lost to in the national championship game about 10 years ago. And he certainly had a better team that was on the field against Clemson 2 years ago in the playoffs. So maybe they think, maybe the pressure just got to him a little bit. But something else that scares me about this as a sports fan, it's sort of like the housing bubble. And I see this with basketball players and football players, whatever sports you pick. He's done a lot of good things. He could be one of those examples. And so I never want to be at a spot where, some of these players just leave because they feel like they've been run out of the game, and they feel like they can leave because they have so much money. That's what worries me.
Well, there's a couple points I want to take out of what you just said. Number one, obviously all of us like to make money. That's why we get up and do what we do, and that's the case. But money has really, really hurt the sports industry, and I'm with you there. We've talked about college football. We've talked about all these TV contracts and the way technology's changed and things like that. But you're right. I think Bob Stoops sat down. His dad died at a younger age from football. Well, not from football, but was a football coach, and from some health-related issues. It had rumored that he might have had some health-related issues. He's got so much money. Like you said, how much of that the beratement do you want to take on a daily basis when you got, hey, you're relatively young, you can go enjoy doing some other things. Why do you want to continue to take that pounding on a daily basis? I'll go over and flop over to LeBron James for just a minute. I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan, but I think all of us need to understand is that we haven't really been able to appreciate what kind of talent LeBron James is, because every time his name's brought up, he's brought up in the same sentence with Michael Jordan, who I happen to be a really big fan of because I grew up watching him, just like this generation may be a big LeBron fan because they're growing up watching him. But his whole career has been overshadowed by the Michael Jordan comparisons. And one day we'll look back and say, man, what a great guy and what a great athlete he was that we were able to watch. But the whole time he was playing, all we could hear and had talks about were, he's not better than Michael Jordan, or he'll never be up to his par. And unfortunately, that's just the cards he's been dealt, Luke. I mean, that Michael Jordan kind of set the standard of the best in the world. And when you start throwing the terms best in the world out there, then you're going to be compared to whoever that is that set that bar. It's in football, it's in baseball, it's in basketball, whoever it is. So, but these guys, you're right. They make so much money. They get hammered all the time. How much of that do you want to take? And I think that makes them take an early exit sometimes.
Well, and it's so funny because the very next question was to Nick Saban, who's making as much money as he can possibly want to make coaching football, I guess. And he said, he does have that attitude that I like. I mean, and this is all.
But Nick Saban's had the success, Luke. You just said a minute ago, if you can't win the big game and you get pounded all the time, then you kind of say, okay, I'm done. You won't take a side. Nick Saban doesn't have that. Nick Saban's been the ultimate success in college football the last decade plus. And yeah, he's had some disappointments here and there, but I mean, his accolades far outweigh the few disappointments he's had. And he is the boss. He is in control. There's nobody in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, can tell him anything or what to do, and he runs that university. It's because of what he's been able to do on the football field and the kind of program he's been able to take Alabama to in the last 10 to 12 years. So when you have that much control, now I can tell you this, at Nick Saban's age, if it got to the point, and I may be wrong, he loses 3 or 4 times in a row and doesn't quite win the national championship and doesn't win but maybe one SEC title in the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, you can start to see a guy like him with that fire in his gut kind of go, well, I am getting on up there. It's probably time for me to head on to the house. It's all about, to me, what you're doing on the field and the success you've been able to achieve.
Well, first of all, yeah, but Saban's answer was, hey, I want to coach until I can't coach anymore, essentially. And that's me being selfish, is that I want these guys, I want LeBron James and Bob Stoops. I want everybody to coach until they can't coach anymore, because that's why it was so sad to see Brett Pritchard retire. I wanted him to play until he couldn't play anymore. And
well, I think he played until he couldn't play anymore. He was hopping around on one leg with the Vikings.
Yeah, but a lot of people wanted him to retire. And the same thing with Jordan. They wanted him to retire, to go out on top and all this.
That's right.
I think it's okay to have the natural arc of an ascension, a peak, and then a descension. I like that. And it's okay with me if in 5, 6, 8 years LeBron James is out there he's out there playing a six-man role. I'm cool with that. He may not be cool with it, but I just don't want to let him go. And that's the same way with Bob Stoops. Oklahoma without Bob Stoops doesn't feel right to me. And all of a sudden, Texas has made a big move in that conference. And here's another thing. I think it speaks to the coaching in general. Andy Staples or Stuart Mandel, one of them, came up with the ranking of coaches in various conferences. And SEC was fifth out of the Power 5 conferences. And the reason is, look at the SEC coaching ranks. You got Nick Saban, and there's nobody that's within his area code. Okay, there's not another coach within 8 coach lengths of him. And I'm using like a regular tall coach, not Nick Saban length. So who's the second best coach in this league? Do you want to say Gus Malzahn? I've been listening to you guys. You're still not 100% sold. Y'all are Auburn to the core. Is it Kirby Smart? I don't think so. Is it Ed Orgeron? Give me a break. Is it Will Muschamp? Lord, no. Is it Jim McElwain? Well, maybe it is by default because he's backed his way into 2 SEC East championships. But the coaching in this conference is not, outside of one man, is not good right now.
No, it's not, and it's because of the nature of this league. And every one of these other coaches that are the top tier coaches, they understand the grind that the SEC is, and it's cannibalistic down here. And and the expectations are beyond unrealistic. Let's just be honest about it. We're all unrealistic about our football programs down here. Because we all expect to win every year. All of the top programs, Alabama fans expect to win every single year. And even when Alabama was going through some tough times, fans still expected their program to be at the top. That's why you have changes when it's not that way. Why is there pressure on Gus Malzahn this year? Because, heck, we have lost 3 in a row to Alabama for the first time in Lord knows when. We've lost 3 in a row to Georgia for the first time in Lord knows when. Don't like the taste in the mouth. So you can get up there and you can have these pep rallies, you can say all this good stuff, but at the end of the day, if results don't match, then people get antsy and people won't change. And so I think you're right, Luke. This league is lower tier coaching right now, proven-wise, because of this, and because of the competitive nature of this conference.
Well, let me tell you what's going to happen, in my opinion. This year, coaching ranks are way down. The coaching quality is way down, and it's not just this year. I think it's been trending this way. But the quarterback quality in the SEC is going to be way up. Alabama's got the returning player of the year. Auburn's upgraded. Georgia's going to be better. I 100% believe that. I think South Carolina, we all believe in Jake Bentley. Florida can't be a whole heck of a lot worse. You just go down the line, especially with Malik Zaire, if he comes in and does some things. Missouri's got a good quarterback. Texas A&M seems to have a good quarterback situation down there right now. What's going to happen is the quarterback play is going to be a lot better. So I think the wins are going to be there this year, where games last year that some of the teams without great quarterback play probably lost. Well, this year I think they're going to win them, and I think these bad coaches are going to get raises. And then what's going to happen is when those quarterbacks leave, the coaches will be exposed again, and then you'll be firing coaches with much higher buyouts. This is a pretty bad cycle. Except for Alabama, this is a pretty bad cycle the SEC could be getting themselves into, because they're paying coaches as if they're the best in the country, when in fact they're not. Nobody's getting Jim Harbaugh money, that's including Nick Saban, and nobody's getting Urban Meyer money. But outside of that, I'd be willing to bet the SEC, average-wise, pays the most.
You know what I think too? A lot of times, Luke, is that some of these programs are so desperate for the next great coach that when they do have a little bit of success, these athletic directors and these universities just pour this money into this guy, thinking, man, well, maybe he'll be the next one. When in the back of their mind, they really know he probably isn't. But we're going to take a chance in case he is, and we're going to go ahead and pour this money at him. But I think that's what you do. It's false hope. It's false belief that, there is another Nick Saban out there, because they just don't make them. And it's just like the Cam Newtons and the Deshaun Watsons of the world. They don't come around every day. So when you get one, you better take advantage of them, because there's just not going to be another one that comes in and replace. Clemson's going to find that out this year. Clemson's loaded with talent. But Deshaun Watson's been that team the last 2 years. I think you'd agree with me. And without him, Clemson's going to find out that the going's going to be a little bit tougher. And that doesn't mean that they're going to lose 4 or 5 games, but it definitely is going to be a reality check for Dabo Swinney and that crew out there. And I think they already know that when they roll on the field, that they don't have superstar man that can make plays when the chips are down. And Auburn found out real quick when Cam Newton left in 11 and 12 how much the drop-off was. So when you got elite guys like that at the quarterback position, or you got elite coaches, they don't make them every day, and you better have and you've said it on this program more than not. You've sent the disclaimer and the warning out to Alabama fans so many times. Enjoy this moment. It may last 10 more years. It may last 2 more years. But you'll look back one day and go, that was the best era in our university's history, and nobody will ever top it because of what he's been able to do. So enjoy it while it's going on.
I'll tell you, it's funny. It's like it's like a reality television show. It's like a reality television dating type. Malzahn or Dan Mullen or Jim McElwain, they're kind of the hot girl that comes up to the university, and the university is the 25-year-old male that's trying to court her, and then at the end of the show they say, okay, you either have to dump her or you have to marry her. And more often than not, the universities end up marrying them, with these $2.5 million a year, $3.5 million a year, $4.5 million a year contracts or rings, and then they end up getting divorced a little later on, and it costs them so much more money. It's funny how it sort of played out like a reality television show.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're like the Truman Show, and that's what this all really is. Maybe it's just some type of a play on a dating show. But Luke, good stuff, my man. A lot of good things to talk about. We could continue this conversation on for another hour, but we'll carry that on over the next several weeks and have many more discussions about this as we head into football season, which we're about 80 days away from now, which is kind of crazy. So media days will be right around the corner, and then it'll be fast forward. Appreciate you calling in. Have a good weekend, okay?
You too, guys.
Thanks, man. Going to take a break. We come back. Randy will join me. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Purchasing a new home is easier than you think, and America's Home Place can show you the way. For over 41 years, we've built thousands of homes for people just like you. We guide you through the entire process, from purchasing a lot, finding financial options, to putting the finishing touches on your beautiful new house. Come to our showroom and see over 100 customizable floor plans. Visit us online at americashomeplace.com/TV for a free floor plan book. America's Home Place. We make building easy.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
If you currently have an FHA mortgage, this commercial is for you. Most people that currently have an FHA mortgage are working with Home Place Mortgage to refinance their current loan. Several items have changed to make now the perfect time to refinance. FHA has reduced the amount of monthly mortgage insurance. Current interest rates for FHA loans are at all-time lows. FHA has eliminated the need for new appraisal. Most people will be able to refinance with little or no closing costs. This is the opportunity that you have been waiting for. Call now to start saving.
It's Truck Month.
It's Ram Truck Month at Bice Motors in Alex City. Save over $10,000 off MSRP on select Ram 1500 or 2500.
Trucks, and more trucks.
Nice price, lowest price.
Great looking trucks and great looking discounts.
Buy it at Bice.
Lake Martin's Ram Truck Headquarters.
America's longest lasting trucks.
BiceChryslerDodge.com.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown. About 25 minutes or so left in the program. So we're going to get to a couple of our fun segments that Andy has really brought to the table over the last few months. I really enjoy these. Does a great job. And get a lot of comments out in public about it. They're like, man, I heard that other day. It's pretty funny. And get you thinking. There's one here that me and you had a conversation about. I wasn't shocked about your answer. I kind of anticipated it, but it's kind of real if you had to do this. So, well, I'm going to save it for last. All right, the first one is Auburn win SEC and national championships this year in less than 10 games the next 4 years, which has pretty much been our mantra, it seems like. So the norm, go win SEC championship and then have 3 or 4 bad years and come back and win another one. Or Auburn win 10 or more games every year for the next 5 years with only 2 SEC titles. Which one would you take? You got to pick one. Which would you rather? Go to the mountaintop, man.
Nah, I think I'm going to take the second.
The second. You're going to take the 10 wins or more for every year for the next 5 years and 2 SEC championships.
I'm going to take that one. And reason being is we'll solidify the program at that point. If you're
doing that,
if you can pull that off in today's world without one little shot in the pan where Jarrett Stidham comes in for a single season and blows it.
And that's what we've been doing.
That's
right.
Has the potential of winning a national title, and it's a flash in the pan. Then next year you're back to 7 or 8 wins and losing by 35 to Alabama.
That's not fun.
I've had enough of that.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm more. We've been to the mountaintop. We've won it. We've been close again a second time. Very close again a second time. All of that. So if we didn't have the one, then I'd pick one.
Yeah.
But now that we got the one,
let's be consistent.
Let's be consistently good. And in today's world, if you can get to that second option there, you've done something.
I agree with you. That's a good point. Attend the Indianapolis 500 or Kentucky Derby. Do you care?
I'd like to go to the Kentucky Derby just for the cocktails, though.
Yeah.
The actual race
Don't
and everything.
care. Well, it only lasts 2 minutes.
Could care less.
It only lasts 2 minutes. There's horse races going on all day.
And it's an impossibility for me to explain to you how little I care about the Indianapolis 500.
Have access to a time machine or win the lottery, $435 million.
I'd take the time machine because I could make the $435 million if I went the time machine for a very short period of time.
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good answer. Get best of both. Be a cowboy or an astronaut.
Oh, man. I wouldn't mind being a cowboy, even though that's kind of funny coming from me right now, but anybody that knows me actually knows I like good old grunt work.
Yeah.
I think I'd been a good farmer
in
a different life because I don't really like dealing with the public too much.
Yeah.
But I like day labor. I really like grunt
it's
labor.
a really good stress reliever.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
I love cutting grass. I like doing terrible
making things
jobs
look
around.
good. Making things look good.
But so astronaut, come on, man.
Go to space.
I can't fix anything.
Well, you couldn't stand that space because you die when you got 15 foot off the ground.
That really
because
don't
of
bother
heights.
me. I'm scared of heights, but I'm not scared of heights inside something.
Yeah.
Like, I'll fly all over the place.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. But you take me up on somewhere and there's a rail right there that if I trip, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I'm not going near that rail.
Eat your favorite food every day for a month or eat something you don't like every day for a week.
I don't even know where he's going.
I don't either. I don't understand that one. Why did he put that one in there? Andy's
I think
listening
he's
right
saying
now.
in his world, eating the same thing over and over again just be awful.
I think that's probably what it is. That's exactly what he's saying. He's like, you just wear it totally
wear
out.
it completely.
Even your most favorite food, if you sat there and ate it every single day, you'd be like, almighty, just push it away. All right, now here's the one. Do without your pinky finger or your cell phone. Chop your pinky finger off and keep your cell phone, or keep your pinky finger and do away with your cell phone.
Okay, I think this is per the individual. So if you're asking me, would I give up a pinky finger
for your cell phone?
For my cell phone, I'd give up a pinky finger.
Chop it off 9 digits.
But here's the reason I would. And look, there's some out there listening. You know, you go in these meetings and you have these people say these poor little kids, they're doing nothing but sitting there killing themselves by sitting and looking at a screen their whole life. Or then you have these other guys that say the generation that we've got growing up cannot communicate with anyone. They're not going to be able to even talk because they do not talk. They communicate like this. Well, let me tell you, in my world, though, in my daily life, we've got our hands in a lot of things. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh,
Brett?
there's no doubt.
If you want to go fishing tomorrow morning,
Monday
morning, if you want to go fishing Monday morning and you want to stop for a half hour and catch up on a lot of work that you got going on, you could.
You can, in the boat.
And for me, I'm almost able to run a business, multiple businesses on the phone. So if you ask me if I'd give up a pinky finger to continue to make a livelihood for my family, then I'd just go ahead and say.
This is a generational changing device.
It is.
Just like when the computer was invented, and just like when the car was. I mean, I'm going through milestones in technological history. I mean, what do you think people felt like when the first Model T rolled off the assembly line for Ford? My Lord, we can ride somewhere now. We don't have to either go on horse or walk or do something like that if you could afford it. I mean, and then the cars got affordable and they were more produced and mass produced. So there are times. What about the first television set? Well, you know, I remember hearing everybody's like, man, television's the devil. I mean, because everybody, you know, you sit down in front of TV, too much TV is bad for you. And it is. Everything in life should be done in moderation. I mean, too much of anything is bad for you.
One of my favorite pictures, and I know that we've got to go to break, but History in Pictures, do you follow them on social outlets?
I do.
History in Pictures has the back of a train in the 1930s, and it's a picture from the back of the train, and it's like, in today's world, isn't it terrible that all we do is use our mobile devices? And it's literally a picture from the back of this train, and if there's 100 individuals sitting in the cars in the train, all 100 have a newspaper standing up and they're sitting there reading it. I mean, you're entertaining yourself with something.
Yeah.
I've heard you sit around and think and quiet time and all that, fine, good, you know, but even back then.
There was newspapers.
Maybe the newspaper was the devil.
That's right.
Then.
There's always a vice. There's a vice on all of it, but it's just what we deal with. And
would you pinky your cell phone?
Man, I'm gonna figure out another way to do something. I'm gonna chop my finger off. I mean, that doesn't mean I can't use my watch. You know, I'm trying to find you're gonna find a way to communicate, whether it be a cell phone, the mobile device. I just can't pull out a machete and chop my finger off. I'm just not.
Okay.
Some people could now.
I could be put to sleep and you could take one.
There you go.
I don't play any ball anymore. I'm not worth.
You know what I have to do.
Any of
You
it.
could be.
And because of this, you and I don't get to play golf or do anything like that.
That's right. Well, I was about to say, maybe that was more of a reason we need to toss it to the side. But anyway, we're up against the break. Good stuff there. We come back. The Golden State Warriors, Cleveland Cavaliers, also the NCAA baseball super regionals underway as well. A lot of things going on in world sports. Stay tuned. More of the Saturday Sports Countdown coming your way right after this.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Lakeside Marina and Watercraft Rentals have spring fever and are happy to announce that Bennington is back. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek is now Lake Martin's Bennington pontoon dealer with all models of Bennington pontoons that deliver speed, power, and stability with their elliptical sport packages and best-in-class styling and luxury. See the full line now for best selection as well as the all-new personal watercraft from Kawasaki. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek, #1 for a reason. Lakeside Marina is also your authorized Easy Go kart dealer for Lake Martin.
Got your eye on a new Nissan? It's time to zero in on huge savings at Lynch Nissan of Auburn. 0% financing is back in a big way on many of your favorite Nissan models, but only for a limited time. Buy today and save up to $11,000 off MSRP on remaining 2016s as we make room for the 2017s. Get up to $5,000 off MSRP on the new Rogue SL or 0% for 72 months. Just click it and pick it now at lynchnissan.com. Lynch Nissan of Auburn, I-85 at exit 51.
Hi. We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Saturday Sports Countdown. I want to say one quick thing about LeBron James, and since we're on this topic. You know, you're the best player in the world. You got the ball 40 seconds. You're up by 1 point. You got to finish that drive to the basket and finish. He kicks to Kyle Korver. That's the question a lot of people have. Gives Golden State a possession. Kevin Durant goes up, pulls up, hits the three-pointer, ultimately wins the game for him. I think that's the knock against LeBron. He's done it a bunch during his career. He gives the ball up. You know, you've heard the old adage, don't make change for $1 with LeBron James. He'll only give you 3/4. You know, he won't give you 4 quarters back. He'll only give you 3/4 because his production kind of fails toward the. He starts off gangbusters and he kind of tails off in the third and fourth quarter, and he's doing that right now in these finals. But you can't kick to the corner to Kyle Korver when you're the best player in the world. When you're up one, you're going to the goal. You got to finish. But I think there's a part of him that's a little skittish about the scrutiny, like me and Luke talked about. He's going to go, what if he goes and misses that? I don't think he can deal with that, so he gets rid of the ball. He'd rather get scrutinized about passing than he would be missing the game-winning shot, because he shot one. He won a championship off of such a bad shot because the ball hit the side of the backboard against San Antonio when he was at Miami, and was so bad it kicked into the corner to Ray Allen down there, and Ray Allen was able to shoot it as time was going out to win the game or tie it to send it to overtime. I think he's done that a couple times in his life, and he's like, I don't do that anymore.
I don't see that. I think that's his game is what it is.
He gives it up, though, man.
And I think he's willing to give it up, and he has made his fair share of game-winning shots, and he's made his fair share of game-winning drives. So let's don't kid ourselves there. It's not like he always gives it up.
I still think there's something there.
I think you got to make the darn shot.
He's got to go make the shot.
Do you talk poorly about Michael Jordan's your favorite, and we're not even going to – what part of you – all right, well, why should Michael Jordan pass it off to John Paxson?
Well, he didn't a lot of times. Well, he did some.
Two of his two of his best, Steve Kerr and John Paxson shots.
Yeah.
Where he dished it off and let them win the game for him.
I
But
understand
they made
that.
the darn shots.
I understand that. But here's the deal, going back to LeBron James. When you are up one, and 99% of the time, I'm not saying that, what would Michael Jordan have probably been scrutinized for kicking it to Steve Kerr? If they missed it. All right, well, Kyle Korver sitting in the corner, you have the ball, he's halfway down the lane against a guy he's 5 or 6 inches taller than. You're the best. Who do you want the ball in the hands of? Now, it's not like he was double teamed and forced to kick. This was a one-on-one going to the goal against a guy much smaller than you that I got to go win this ball game. We're down 2-0. I got to go win this game. And I'm on my home floor, and I'm going to the goal. And you're either going to foul me and I'm going to make the shot, or I'm going to go to the free throw line and win it. He gets halfway down the lane, very poorly contested, by the way. You can go back and look at the film, and kicks to Kyle Korver in the corner. That was the critique of him after the game, right or wrong. He's unselfish. That's a good positive thing about LeBron. Can't say he's a ball hog. He's a very good assist guy. I think you brought that up off the air about how that's a part of the game he's a lot better than Michael Jordan. And I'll definitely agree with that. You're the best player in the world. You got to go win the game right there. That's just my opinion. And so I'd rather win or lose with you, buddy, than to kick to Kyle Korver. Let's talk about this true false. In the 2017 Golden State Warriors, are they the best team in NBA history?
Who would you put better?
I'm biased.
That's the reason. You're going to say
96 Bulls.
You'll say the 96 Bulls. Because
they finished the deal. See, Golden State had the record last year, and they had a 3-1 lead, but they blew it. So one game cost them that accolade, in my opinion. They beat the 96 Bulls record that year, but the Bulls finished the deal. They had the best record up until last year in the regular season, but the Bulls finished in the playoffs. That, to me, puts them as the best team.
It's hard to compare generations,
It
but
is.
the defense is so terrible right now, and I mean, it's terrible.
140 points in the finals.
You go back to that Kevin Durant play.
Yeah.
Where Korver misses a shot, Kevin Durant takes a rebound.
LeBron was on defense on that.
He practically walks the sucker up the court, walks to his spot, and triggers. And shoots. And there's zero defense.
Nobody forced him to dribble around.
I wrote a post. I saw that, and I sent it out, and I said, it looks like a 40-year-old pickup game that's about 20 minutes into it.
Well, I will say
you and I are about to pass out, and we can't defend one another because you can't move anymore. And one of you walk up the court, and instead of me having to move another 4 feet to get out there and defend you, you just have it. And I hope you miss it.
That's what it is. I will say this about Kyrie Irving. Man, is he unreal making shots. And some of the spins and just off the glass, it seemed like every time they need a shot, he had another good game last night. He's phenomenal, but you're right, no defense. The Cavaliers actually have a decent chance now to win the series, true or false?
True. And they did it last year. I think.
Are they kicking themselves? This series is not 2-2 right now?
Yeah, they are. You just said it. Wouldn't you be?
I mean, that's how close you are.
No, but I didn't think they would last year when they lost by 37 in Game 2.
I'm going to add one. Is the NBA rigged, true or false?
Here's what I just said right there, to me, is a no.
Okay.
I think that it is partially, but do I think that Golden State is willing to lose games to the Cleveland Cavaliers at this point? No, man, they lost a 3-1 lead and lost a championship last year.
And Kevin Durant wants to win a championship.
Are you kidding?
Well, there's just so many conspiracy theories that come out. NBA, well, why would they want to sweep? That's lost revenue. I mean, it is. All makes sense. Well, all go back to money. They tend to go back to money. It drives everything, and all that breaks out last night. Well, the Warriors cost them $22 million if they'd have swept. I mean, just conspiracy theories can drive you crazy. All right, Bob Stoops is a top 5 coach in the modern era the last 25 years.
I'd have to think of the top 5. I haven't put my top 5 in my mind.
Nick Saban's one.
Nick Saban's number 1. After that, yes, I'd say yes.
Urban Meyer's got to be a top 5 coach.
I agree.
Who else? In the last 25 years, when did Tom Osborne was already gone from Nebraska?
Well, that's right at he'd be
right in that
in the
area.
early 90s.
So Tom
So
Osborne.
through that middle 90s.
I'd give him one of those.
And I would give Pete Carroll, no question.
Pete Carroll, there's 4. Bob Stoops is 5.
I think he's right in the mix.
Nobody
he only
else.
wins one national championship.
Bobby
Maybe that's a
Bowden.
Knox. But
Bobby Bowden.
yeah,
I don't know. He's on the border. That's pretty good coaches we just named off there. That's border.
I'm sure we're missing somebody. But
Yeah, I'm sure. Notre Dame hadn't had anybody.
No.
Okay, so. And speaking of Notre Dame transfer Malik Zaire will be perfect at Florida.
He can't do anything but help.
They've been terrible.
They're like Auburn. Their offense, if they'd had offense, they got a great defense. They got a good offensive-minded coach. They need a quarterback. If he can trigger them, it's a big question mark right now. But if he can, buddy, watch out, because Florida, if anything's exceeded expectations for me the last couple of years. As poor as they played on offense, they have been in the mix.
Oh, they have, and it's been a lot to the fact that the SEC East has been pretty weak too.
Yeah.
So Gus Malzahn is correct that the new rules regarding high school coaches are devastating.
Carry that over.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll end with that. Stay tuned. Last segment of the program coming up right after this.
Start the new year in a new Honda at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga. Like a new Civic for just $172 a month during our first big sale of the year at Sarah Honda of Sylacauga on Highway 280.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service, always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
It's Truck Month.
It's Ram Truck Month at Bice Motors in Alex City. Save over $10,000 off MSRP on select Ram 1500 or 2500.
Trucks, and more trucks.
Nice price, lowest price.
Great looking trucks and great looking discounts.
Buy it at Bice.
Lake Martin's Ram Truck Headquarters.
America's longest lasting trucks.
BiceChryslerDodge.com.
When you're born, you're really young. You're like 0 years old. My grandma tells me to quit growing up so fast. But what can I do about it? My mom keeps throwing me birthday parties.
Russell Medical, comprehensive care in your corner of the world.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Hey, it's Steve from the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, and after 10 years of serving the good people of East Alabama and West Georgia, we're still doing business the same way, offering the best products at the best prices with the area's best warranties and installing them with the area's best technicians. With great customer service, a knowledgeable sales staff, and our commitment to customer satisfaction, along with the best selection of the latest technology in the industry, there's no reason to shop anywhere else. Shop with confidence. Shop at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.
Get out and go in a new Altima, just $18,988. During the Nissan Now sales event, a new 2017 Altima is just $18,988 at Sarah Nissan of Sylacauga.
Welcome back, everyone. Last segment of the show. Again, I want to thank JR Sports Bar and Grill and Sunshine Heating and Air now as our new corporate partner here on Sports Blitz program. And we left off with the The rule for high school football coaches now, this applies to Auburn. They just hired Brian Blackman from Opelika, and the new rule says that if you hire somebody from a high school, you can't recruit a player from there for 2 years. It's
you start
basically in the that's it in a nutshell. I mean, there's more to the rule, and there's certain things with this and that, but basically in the nutshell, Auburn can't go to Opelika High School the next 2 years and recruit a football player from Opelika. So I don't know about a player wanting to come to Auburn and saying, you can't say, you can't go to Auburn. There's always a loophole in there, and I didn't get to dive off into it, but your thoughts on that rule?
Okay, first and foremost, high school coaches are becoming parts of college programs a lot more than 20 years ago. It's happening a lot, and high school coaches, for the most part, have proven themselves, I think, at that level, Gus Malzahn being one, have proven themselves to be able to move up the ladder from a great high school leader and coach up to a great college coach. I've been around some good ones. One of them's the head director of the High School Athletic Association. Steve Savarese could have coached college ball easily and could have led a program so easily that I don't look at anybody else and say they're doing it much better than him structure-wise. So, one, I'm glad to see that. Two, don't everybody be mad at me here. I'm a big fan of Brian Blackman. I'm a big fan of Coach Pugh that came over from Carver to Auburn. Big fans of both of them. I think they're wonderful men, great leaders. I think there's something to be said with this rule.
Taking guys just for the sake of...
Yes, for the sake of getting a top-tier recruit
I think it can be abused, but I think what he's saying here is this devastating for high school coaches that have that ambition to be a Gus Malzahn, that are trying to get there. Now are you just saying, look, I'm not going to hire that guy because of this. I want to. All right, let's say you go out and get this top guy from one of these top high schools that's been a good recruiting base for you, and you say, I want him in my program. Well, now for 2 years, you can't get any of their players out of that school. I don't
know, man. I think it's.
I know why the rule was
50-50 here.
I know why the rule was enacted.
It's very
because
easy.
Of what you just said.
It's very easy for me to sit up here and and everybody knows I'm a high school guy. High school first and foremost. Yes, I love talking Auburn, but when it comes to me, I'd much rather be out there calling a high school football game with doing the HSA radio networks where my passion is. And I enjoy high school coaches and what they mean to kids' lives. I know how much they've meant to me, and I know how much they've meant to others that were not talented enough to go on and do great things at the college or professional level. So I'll always be supportive of high school coaches in that regard. But I see the loophole here, and I see what they're trying to close up.
And I think it's already been taken advantage of.
Is there a good answer for Hoover High School, which maybe there's a lot of kids that are coming out of there in the years to come, and Josh Niblett's the best coach, one of the best, if he's not the best coach in the state of Alabama, and many people would want him. I don't know why anybody wouldn't. And you're not going to be able to recruit guys from there for 2 years. But I can also see where this could be taken big-time advantage of.
It really can, yeah. And you go out and hire guys, and that's a shame because you go get a guy just to go get – well, let's just be honest about it. Didn't it happen with Mitch Mustaine at Arkansas? Isn't that how they hired – did they hire Gus Malzahn because of Mitch Mustaine? Is that how that worked to start?
Well, first off, Gus Malzahn was very successful. So
it wasn't
that he wasn't worthy, but many people, perception-wise, thought the same.
They went, and I think there's some other cases, not off the top of my head I can come up with, but that's been done already too. I think that's why they came up with the rule. I'm with you. I agree. Right or wrong, indifferent, whether you like it or not, I think there's a reason they said we got to put something on this. Because this could get out of control.
And let me whatever
that coach has so much influence on that kid, and if he's a 5-star, he's like, look, man, we'll be willing to pay that guy $100,000 to go get Cam Newton. Look at the impact he could have.
I don't have an answer. We'll try to get some more guests on to talk maybe to both sides.
Well, this thing's going to be debated for a little while.
Because look, I will close the program with whatever is positive for high school coaches, I'm positive for.
Yeah.
But I don't want there to be a big-time gray area.
I don't think it will, and I'm going to tell you, if you're really an up-and-comer, and I think, let's just say Gus Malzahn said, look, Opelika is near and dear to us. We've gotten a lot of players out of there, but I want Brian Blackman on my staff, and I'll sacrifice 2 years of recruiting, unfortunately. I can't go in there. Now, a kid, if he wants to come to Auburn, I mean, he can come here. But I can't actively go in there for 2 years, and I'll take that. I'll take that 2-year hiatus to get that guy on my staff.
For a Brian Blackman type.
That's right.
I'd have that mentality.
I think that's what it's forcing you to do. Yeah. It's forcing you to do the right thing. It's going to cut that let me go get this guy because he's got influence over this kid. That's what it really breaks down to. We've enjoyed it, guys. A lot of fun here on this Saturday morning. Please get out and about. Day 2 of Jazz Fest down at the amphitheater tonight. Make sure you get out and about and take advantage. We've enjoyed it. We hope you have. See you on Tuesday night.
Auburn Opelika has that perfect something for you. From sophisticated chic boutiques to exceptional dining, there's a retailer or restaurant to make your next visit special. Whether it's elegant fine dining or freshly squeezed lemonade, you'll find the perfect fit for every taste and budget. The food's great and the shopping is too, so be sure to check out the wide array of gifts, decor, clothing, and more. For every occasion, Auburn Opelika has what you're looking for. Let's make your next trip memorable. Visit Auburn Opelika.
When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing LLC. For over 20 years, our mission has been to provide the best possible service available in the industry, and we specialize in solving difficult problems. We offer a wide range of services, such as installation, service, repair, and replacement of common fixtures, water heaters, toilets, faucets, drains, sewer lines, and septic tank pumping and cleaning services. Unlike many companies, our septic tank services include field line testing. Our knowledgeable staff will be happy to answer any of your questions. So call A&M Plumbing LLC today.
If you had $6,000, how would you spend it?
I'd pay bills.
How about a new car? Vacation!
At Hyundai of Auburn today, you can get the new car and do the other things.
What? How?
Pick out your dream car and drive away with as much as $6,000 to spend however you'd like.
America's best warranty and $6,000?
Luxury and $6,000.
Be thinking how to spend your $6,000. HyundaiofAuburn.com.
Vacation!
Jackson Refrigeration is Central East Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With rapid response time and on-budget pricing, we're Central East Alabama's and the area's authorized Goodman Heating and Air dealer. We make your peace of mind easy and give you peace of mind when it comes to your heating and air needs. As a Superior Solutions dealer, Jackson Refrigeration can help save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Jackson Refrigeration